Welcome back to the Ed Show. Trayvon Martin's parents have reacted to police surveillance video of George Zimmerman.
We just looked at the video and we were just surprised because according to the police report, he sustained injuries, Zimmerman sustained injuries. But when we looked at the video, it was obvious that there were no visible injuries. There were no blood on his shirt. So we have concluded just by watching this video that there may not have been any injuries at all.
And it's amazing how if in fact he had a broken nose, how he continued to keep his head down.
Trayvon's parents have not yet responded to the dad, Robert Zimmerman's interview. Robert Zimmerman said he thought Trayvon Martin was not on a phone call with his girlfriend the night of the shooting. His quote is, "I don't believe that she was on the phone with him. I believe the FBI and others investigating this will find that did not happen." But according to ABC News, the phone logs show the conversation happened. Let's turn to Natalie Jackson, attorney for the family of Trayvon Martin. Natalie, thank you for your time tonight. Robert Zimmerman says the call never happened. Can you respond to that?
Well, Mr. Zimmerman is a father trying to protect his child. The call happened. There are records that the call happened. This is not something that a young girl made up and people just believed her. There are records that back up her story. Now, everything that his son has told him, there's nothing to back it up except for his son. In fact, all the different stories that have been purported by family and friends of George Zimmerman, they're kind of proving to be not true.
Have Trayvon's parents seen Robert Zimmerman's interview, and have they given a reaction to it?
Yeah, they did give a reaction to it. They said that, they understand it's his child, and that's what parents do. They protect their children. But what he must understand is that while he has that right, he does not have a right to try to tarnish Trayvon in the process, because they never had a chance to protect their child from his son, the killer.
Now, did the family want civil rights groups to come in and get involved on this? There's been some criticism of those, such as Al Sharpton and both Reverend Sharpton and Reverend Jesse Jackson, and some of the groups. The NAACP, of course, was mentioned by Robert Zimmerman and the Congressional Black Caucus, even the President of the United States, and the word hate was thrown around. What's your reaction to that and the families?
My reaction to that is that it seems to be Zimmerman's camp that is bringing up the racial issues. We had 2 million people sign this petition, 2 million people of all nationalities, races, and political affiliations. Every time someone from Zimmerman camp gets on television, such as Joe Oliver, who brings up that Zimmerman's not racist, or his father, who brings up the hate and the racism, we have said that Zimmerman noticed Trayvon because he was young, black, and male. That is racial profiling. We have purposely said we don't know George Zimmerman. We don't know if he's a racist. We do, and we can hear from his own words that he profiled Trayvon. So racism is being brought up by their camp. If anyone is trying to stir up racist thoughts or division, it is their camp. We are a camp of unity, hope, and justice.
And Natalie, what have you learned and your lawyer team learned from the police surveillance video?
Well, I mean, we've just added more on to the fact, what we already knew, that Robert Zimmerman should be arrested for the killing of Trayvon Martin. This video, it's just more evidence that goes towards it. There is no visible injury to George Zimmerman. There's no visible evidence that Trayvon, there was some sort of attack that led to imminent fear of death or imminent fear of great bodily harm.
Yeah, and one other thing, are you trying to get dispatch and medical records to see exactly who attended to George Zimmerman in the police car? I mean, it would seem to me that the EMT team or the paramedics, whoever were there, should have a record of that. Or have you seen those records?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because what America needs to know and the public needs to know is that as they are getting information, that's when the family is getting information. All this stuff that is being leaked, the family is getting it at the same time as the public. There has been no investigative information given to the family by law enforcement at this point.
So you don't even know who attended to George Zimmerman in that police car?
No, we don't know. We don't know any names. We don't know who attended. What we do know, Ed, what we do know is that there were more than one officer on the scene. And one of the other officers who wrote a police report did not even mention George Zimmerman's injuries in his report. He did not think they were significant enough to put in a report.
Well, what do you make of Zimmerman reportedly going to the hospital the next day?
I have no makes of that because I don't have any hospital records.
All right,
I don't know. It's all speculation.
Okay, so a medical professional attends to George Zimmerman, a broken nose. I don't know if there's any x-rays. There's no blood anywhere. We can't see that on the tape. And no one has allowed your team or anyone to see a record of what medical professional attended to a man who had something on the back of his head, pounded into the ground, according to his dad, and a broken nose.
No.
So you got nothing of that. I find that unbelievable.
And these are the parents. This is why the parents started all of this. The parents wanted answers.
Yeah.
They had a child laying on a sidewalk that had nothing but Skittles and an Arizona iced tea when an armed vigilante shot him. And they were told, we can't do anything. He said self-defense.
Well,
no
he's giving a defense. It seems that he is giving a defense. His father's giving a defense in the arena of public opinion, trying to gin up support. But he can't substantiate any kind of medical attention that was given to this. And you're saying that one of the police officers never mentioned it at all.
Exactly. And it's in the preliminary report. There were 2 police officers on that scene.
Natalie Jackson, thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate it. Coming up, the Sanford City manager, Norton Bonaparte, is my next guest. And the right-wing character assassination of Trayvon Martin just continues. Dr. James Peterson, Lehigh University, will join me. And there are new details on Florida's Stand Your Ground law, ALEC and the NRA. That report is ahead. Stay with us. You're watching The Ed Show on MSNBC.